Here's how you can swap over miners. The first two are pretty obvious. The third approach, which is towards the end, is a little bit more interesting and you might not have seen before, so it's worth hanging around to the end. So I've got a Horizon here mining at the moment. I'm going to send off a North Star. Now the first one is, I often zoom in just so I can place it fairly close. I send him off and just put him next to all. And basically what you have to do now is wait until he arrives as it kind of tracks down, and then we're going to move him on. What I tend to do is move the other one off, move him on, and that way it's a little bit safer. I don't accidentally hit the wrong button and recall too early and so forth. So here we go. So we'll go take the first one off. If it's zoomed in, it's easier. If you zoomed right out, you've got to sort of tap the reasonable way away. But if you zoom in, it makes it a bit easier. Take him off, select the other one, put him on. Easy. So that's approach number one. Approach number two is pretty much the same. But if you want to be a little bit cooler, what you can do is when you're coming in, so normally I just push him off the side. You just do a recall normally. But if you take him, and so when he's going to arrive, you put him just the other side. If you know the direction he's going to come into that system, you can put him so he's going to go over the top. So you can select a North Star, and you can just time it right and say, okay, hit recall, hit that one, hit mine. And if you get the timing just right, it makes it a little bit quicker. And you get a much smoother transition with not much time off the node. And it looks cooler. But if you make a mistake and hit the wrong button, you're screwed because you've sent the miner off back home and you've got to send him back again. Okay, but this is my favorite approach. I don't know if this is a bug or a feature, but it's really useful. Let's say I want to swap that miner over, but I might have a meeting. So rather than have to wait for the guy to arrive and then start moving them all around again, what you can do is you take the ship who's on there. So A is on there at the moment. I take him off. I select ship C, and I send him there. I then return and send ship A back on the mine. And then you wait. Actually, you can just go off and do something completely different. But let's see what happens. I'm just speeding things up a little bit here. Here comes our North Star. And you'll notice what's going to happen is he's going to land. And he lands on the same thing. And you're wondering, what on earth is going on? Nothing seems to be happening. If you select him, he's got 0 at the moment. Well, this is where it seems a little bit glitchy. But if you wait for a moment, you'll suddenly start seeing that his value over on the left here has gone from 0, and it's going to suddenly jump to something above 0. It just takes a little while to kick in. See, it's up to 100 and something or other suddenly went. And the other ship walked out. And that other ship is returning home automatically. And that's really useful because you don't have to sit there and watch it. I don't have to do anything. I can send that miner off and basically rotate the ship. And when it gets back home later on, I can rotate it back. But that's a particularly useful trick I found. Basically, you take the miner off, you send another miner along, and you put your first miner back on. And then when the new miner arrives, it auto-returns the other miner. It can take up to a minute to refresh the display, which is really confusing, but it works really well.